Title: The Dollmaker's Legacy. In the quaint town of Whispering Pines, nestled amidst towering trees and rolling hills, there stood an old Victorian mansion known as Ravenwood Manor. Its weathered facade and overgrown gardens lent it an air of eerie beauty, but it was the stories whispered among the townsfolk that gave the mansion its true mystique. Legend had it that Ravenwood Manor was once the home of a reclusive dollmaker named Lydia Hawthorne. Rumored to possess an otherworldly talent for crafting lifelike dolls, Lydia's creations were said to be imbued with a sinister magic, a magic that had tragic consequences for those who dared to cross her. Amelia Carter, a curious young woman with a love for the macabre, had always been drawn to the stories surrounding Ravenwood Manor. Determined to uncover the truth behind the legends, she set out one stormy evening to explore the abandoned mansion. As she approached the imposing gates, the wind howled through the trees, and the branches seemed to reach out to her like gnarled fingers. Ignoring the sense of foreboding that prickled at her skin, Amelia pushed open the rusted gates and stepped onto the overgrown path leading to the mansion. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decay, and the sound of her footsteps echoed ominously in the darkness. Undeterred by the eerie atmosphere, Amelia pressed on, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. As she stepped through the front doors of the mansion, she felt a sense of unease settle over her like a heavy cloak. The interior was shrouded in darkness, the only light filtering in through the broken windows. Dust motes danced in the air, and the floorboards creaked beneath her feet as she made her way through the abandoned halls. With each step she took, Amelia felt as if she were being drawn further into the heart of darkness. Shadows seemed to flicker at the edge of her vision, and strange whispers echoed in the darkness. But still, she pressed on, driven by a curiosity that bordered on obsession. Finally, she reached the attic, a room that had long been rumored to be Lydia Hawthorne's workshop. As she pushed open the door, she was met with a sight that sent a shiver down her spine. The attic was filled with shelves upon shelves of dolls, their glassy eyes staring out at her from the darkness. Some were beautiful, with delicate features and elaborate costumes, while others were twisted and grotesque, their faces contorted into expressions of agony and despair. But it was the doll at the center of the room that caught Amelia's eye, a doll unlike any she had ever seen before. Its porcelain skin was flawless, its eyes as black as coal. There was something about it that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, a darkness that threatened to consume her soul. With trembling hands, Amelia reached out to touch the doll, her fingers brushing against its smooth porcelain skin. But as she did, she felt a surge of cold dread wash over her like a tidal wave. Suddenly, the doll's eyes snapped open, their black depths locking onto hers with an intensity that made her blood run cold. With a cry of horror, Amelia stumbled backwards, her heart pounding in her chest. But before she could flee, she felt a cold hand close around her wrist, its grip like iron. With a strength born of desperation, she wrenched herself free and fled from the room, her footsteps echoing through the empty halls as she ran for her life. As she burst out of the mansion and into the cold night air, Amelia knew that she would never forget the horrors she had witnessed within its walls. And though she had escaped with her life, she knew that the memory of that night would haunt her for the rest of her days. For in the heart of Ravenwood Manor, she had come face to face with true evil, a darkness that had been lurking in the shadows for centuries, waiting to claim its next victim. And though she had escaped its clutches for now, she knew that it was only a matter of time before it came for her once again.